Welcome to the recap of Binibining Pilipinas 2025. I'm Dani. Thanks for joining me on this episode. If you've been wondering what took so long, check out my vlogs. You can see what I've been up to. Things have been a little crazy, but I still wanted to create this episode and I am still catching up on other pageants as well, so look out for those. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a full version of the final show, so I didn't always have the best shots or angles. Specifically with the opening, I can only find an audience view of this, so that was pretty disappointing. I missed seeing the up-close shots of the contestants, but I thought that overall it looked really great. The dance moves, honestly, were really sharp for a lot of the contestants. Dance moves don't always go well when you're working with contestants who aren't always dancers, and I just thought they did a really great job. I would, however, prefer if there was more rotation of the contestants so that everybody gets a chance front and center, in the middle, in front of the judges. I do look for that during productions. I'm going to share with you the performances that stood out to me during the competition, beginning with swim. And I have to say I did not follow the ladies leading up to the competition, so for me, these are really also first impressions for most of them. Being first is always tough. I thought number one had a really strong opening, lots of great energy, and she stood out to me. Number three, I love the sway in her walk. I feel like a lot of Filipinas have a similar walk like this. I think it looks great on stage. It's always eye-catching, and she did also a phenomenal job with the posing at the end. Number four, wonderful spin turn. Actually, a lot of really great spin turns in this edition. Spin turns are not the easiest thing to do in 4-inch heels, but I thought that she nailed this. I also have to say that I liked the staging this year, and I think that the camera angles were better this year for swim and for gown. Number seven, so cute, great spin turn. She's also back. Let's not forget, she competed at Miss Universe Philippines. She was first runner-up at Charm. This is the first time that I saw that she was recompeting, so I was very excited for her. Number eight, wonderful energy, really beautiful hair. Gosh, the Filipinas and their hairstyles, they've just got it down. I don't know how y'all do it in the humidity though. I feel like they don't have any flyaways, and it's impressive. Number nine, very beautiful, so cute. Number 11 immediately stood out to me. She just has such a presence on stage and I absolutely loved her. I also thought for her, there's something about her where the blue swimsuit that they put them all in really worked for her personally. I don't think it was the most complimentary on everybody, but it looked great on her. I thought that the walk was a little bit grand in style, but I still really liked it. Number 12 was so confident, and the thing that I really loved about this performance were her facial transitions, and we didn't always see that from all of the contestants, so this was excellent. Number 16, I think that she's really pretty, but I personally felt like she played this performance pretty safe. I think that there was more that she could have done to stand out. Number 17, I think she's in that really sweet spot where she's not overdoing anything, but she's doing just enough. She had a nice little pivot at the end of the runway as well. She's well rehearsed without looking over rehearsed. Number 18, very beautiful, immediately caught my attention with her opening over the shoulder look, the turn that she did, and for me, I just felt like she looked so relaxed, and that's tough to do on that stage. Number 22, I love this look. In the Philippines, we see a lot of long hairstyles, and she looked different with this more chopped look, but it wasn't a bob, so I just think that the bounciness of it really worked in her favor. I think it accentuated all of her turns. It just kind of enhanced everything, and I loved it. Number 23, I think she did a great job. I just wish that the camera would have caught a little bit more of her face at the end of the runway. Number 24, honestly, she would have gotten a great score from me. Nice walk, poses, turns, facials, all of it. Number 25 was great, also in that sweet spot. I thought she was confident, but she wasn't overdoing anything. Number 28, Tarlac, absolutely beautiful, such a face card. She looked incredible. Number 29, the thing about her that I really noticed and loved was her posture. I just thought it was so well done. She didn't look stiff though. She was very upright without looking uncomfortable. Number 31, beautiful, great skin, great hair, great performance, all of it. Honestly, what more can I say? I do feel like the end group of the contestants, it was really tight. It was really tough. Number 32, beautiful, great smile, and it's just another one of those moments where you're like, how in the world do the judges pick who advances in this competition? It has to come down to their interviews because there's so many great contestants here. 33 had the same sentiment. I just thought, wow, amazing. What more can I say? I'd also give her a great score. And again, 34, it was like contestant after contestant. It was just bringing it back to back to back, and it just feels overwhelming. But even when that happens, I personally still give contestants a great score. I don't really care if somebody before you did an amazing job. If you did as well, you're still gonna get a great score. Number 36 looked great in her ponytail, and I was actually surprised we didn't see more of them. We do see a lot of ponytail styles in the Philippines, but I think also it helped to make her stand out. Now let's talk about evening gown, because this is really where I feel like, in really any organization, but most of the time it's where the contestants really separate themselves. They make themselves more distinct and memorable, or they fall behind. Number 1, this neckline reminded me of the 90s. I thought this was a good performance. I think it was a good opening, but watching it, I didn't feel like she wouldn't be surpassed by somebody else in the competition. This is one of those times where if I were judging, I would still be very open to giving other scores, or I would have the expectation that some other contestants were still gonna wow me. Number 3, pink is really having a moment in pageantry, especially in the Philippines. I love this, and I do think that fuchsia being that color of the year in 2022, that it takes a while for it to really trickle down because pink gowns are a little bit more rare, but I do think you see them more in this competition specifically. I think that they're acceptable and they do place and they do win, so I feel like contestants are a little bit more comfortable wearing it, and it's a great color, but she had a wonderful performance to complement it as well. Number 4, I really liked her, and this gown actually reminded me of Alma's Miss USA gown because of the cutout in the center. I just thought that this was a solid performance. I would have been advancing her. Number 6, the hair looked great, the gown was really nice on her, and what I appreciated about this is that the entire walk to me in performance was very elegant, and I do feel like you need that difference between the fun and the playfulness of swim and the elegance of evening gown, and I feel like she did great with that transition. Number 7, this gown immediately reminded me of Atisa's gown. I don't know if that was the plan or what went into the process of this, but either way, I think she had a wonderful performance, and I really liked her facial expressions at the end, but she does have a lot of experience, and when I look back at her other styling, I feel like I've always had comments about her styling in the past, and I think that this shade of pink complemented her hair and her skin the best in comparison to other looks that I've seen on her. Number 11 really stood out to me because right now there's this sea of opera coats and feathers and capes that you're seeing in pageantry, but she went back to what I would say is similar to an early 2000s style of gown and neckline. Simple, she wore it in white, the color stands out on her, and I think it's a really great strategy. I also think that she had a wonderful, elegant performance that was paired with this, so it worked well for her. Number 12, oh my gosh, these Leo Almodal gowns are dream gowns. I would love to wear something like this. This is a lot, okay? This is a really difficult gown, I think, actually to wear, and you have to be able to pull it off. But if you're gonna wear a gown like this, you don't really have to do much in it. The gown is gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, only though if it's a gown that makes sense on your frame. So I felt like she did a good job. She didn't have to do much in this. Number 17, really nice walk and energy, and I think that the gown looked unique on her. Number 18, really liked the opening, the soft facial expressions and transitions. For me, this would have been a well-scoring performance. I thought that she looked very poised. Number 19, this look is just giving Binibining Pilipinas to me. I think that it was beautiful. The neckline, the hair up, the just literally all of it. When I saw this, I was thinking she has to advance. Number 23, I thought she had a really nice opening. I like the styling of this. I think that the red lip looked great on her. It doesn't work for every contestant, but I really liked this entire look and styling and the way she carried herself. Number 25 was a moment the second that I saw her on stage, and it took me a second to realize that there were purple stones woven into this gown. So very unique, very beautiful. The hairstyling was perfect for this. I just feel like you can't deny that she was such a standout and had a phenomenal performance. Number 27, beautiful evening gown. This reminded me a lot of Opal's gown for Miss Universe. I thought it was beautifully done though. I like the rhinestones and the necklace that went with it. She did a fantastic job. Number 28, I loved this gown. I thought that the styling was really appropriate for the system. I feel like she was one of the contestants who just got it. She's somebody that I think, because of her performance and just how she styled herself and kind of what this organization usually goes with, she's somebody I would have moved forward. Number 29, I love this color on her. I think she had a really strong strong opening, and what I really appreciated about her is that she was leaning into her smiling expression. To me, I thought that that was her strong facial expression, and she was leaning in versus pulling away from it and trying to be something that she isn't, like trying to be more sultry or sexy with the expression and doing something that feels forced. I loved number 30. This gown also very well done, very well suited for the pageant, the organization, and it just shows like a level of awareness for where you're competing, and the performance was beautiful as well. Number 31, I really liked this look for her, and honestly, I think that the performance was even better than the look. Not a lot of blues this year. For me, it made her stand out. I really liked her, and I would have given her a great score for this. 32, I like this shade of purple on her. I don't think though that the pieces of chiffon on her arms were really doing anything to enhance the performance. I think they should have been bigger. They just weren't flowing as nicely on stage. But aside from that, I still like this performance. Number 33, I absolutely love the opening reveal of this. The color was unique with that style of gown. I really, really loved this. This was fabulous. The draping of the stones, this was a fun performance to watch. Number 34 was giving body. She was giving mermaid. Oh my gosh, her body in this was incredible. I do think it was a little bit sexy, but I also think that the color was a great choice for this competition, and I still liked her performance. Number 36, this was a phenomenal look and performance. It did, however, remind me of Rachel's preliminary performance for Miss Grand International, and I loved that preliminary performance. I loved that specific shade of pink on Rachel. I'm glad to see that this is a different shade of pink, but we see, you know, kind of the scarf attached to the head or to the hair as a look, and I just think it was really well done and stunning. The onstage question portion is honestly what I most look forward to in this particular pageant, which is kind of crazy to think because normally, of course, I love the gowns and the walks and the performances, but I love how unique their questions are and their answers always surprise me. And I encourage all of my clients and you to watch, learn, and pay attention to these answers. Number 3 was asked about the Philippines being the best performing Asian country at Miss International by Miss International. And when she shared her answer, what I really liked about it is that she keyed in on something that I think is part of what makes the Philippines so successful internationally, and she mentioned this as well, but she talked about how you can feel the authenticity of a Filipina contestant, and I really feel like this comes a lot from the fact that many of the contestants that you see represent the Philippines internationally come from very humble beginnings. So they know what it's like to work really hard, and they're working not only for themselves but for their families and for the pride of their country, and when you're carrying all of that, you move differently, you work differently, and I feel like that is a really big factor that helps contribute to their international success. She talked about her belief that what goes around comes around, and that you can create a domino effect and share kindness. So she really wrapped everything up in a very positive way. Number 32 was asked about if she were to win tonight, what would she focus on for her duties during the year? And she says that she believes that a beauty queen not only wears a crown on her head, but her heart on her sleeve. And she also puts the care of other people before herself, because she feels like a true beauty queen is one who is able to possess the qualities of being able to inspire, of being able to lead, and she hopes that she is also able to do that. And she basically has this positive, encouraging message about believing in your dreams. So this was really well said and really well delivered. Number 11, I like this question. She was asked, do you think Gen Z beauty queens are different from boomer beauty queens? And this was just well done. She said, regardless of what generation we belong to, as a beauty queen, I believe we are all purpose driven. However, we, the Gen Z beauty queens, are socially aware, and it's all thanks to technology, and we should maximize our potential and share our knowledge and expertise to all generations, regardless of if you're a boomer, a millennial, or Gen Z, because we all want the Philippines and the Filipino people to prosper. I was so impressed by this, and for me, an answer like this is a winning answer. Number 19 was asked about many parents being concerned about what their children are exposed to online, and what do you think is the best way to protect your mind in today's potentially harmful digital content? Oh, good one. She shared that it's the families and the parents' job to be guiding children. She talked about parents and guardians being their first teachers and children being our future. I think she did a great job answering the question, but I wish she would have pinpointed a very specific way to reduce harm online. Number 12, this is a brilliant answer that also really impressed me. They said, today is Father's Day. What is one trait that you learned from your father? And she shared that she was raised by a single mother. She didn't have a father figure in her life, but that her mother taught her to be empowered and confident. She knows that women can definitely lead any family. And then she's wrapping the message by saying, Happy Father's Day to all the mothers out there. This is so great because sometimes contestants get a question and technically they don't really relate to that question, and I've seen contestants freeze. But ladies, you have to get creative. There is a way for you to answer that question in a way that you can express an uplifting message or maybe connect to your personal brand, and I feel like she really did this. She didn't get caught up on the whole father part of the question. Instead, she focused on what she had, and that's a mom, and she made this a very positive and uplifting answer, and it was brilliant. Number 36 was asked if she could design a costume that represents her life story, how would it look and what elements would you include? I was thinking this would have been the perfect time to reference any of your ideas for a national costume if you were to be the winner and move on to represent the Philippines internationally. Anyways, but she talked about her journey as an actress and as a startup businesswoman, and she talked about being able to represent everyone in the audience and all of their stories, and making a difference in the world. Now, she was very confident in her answer, but it did come across to me as rehearsed. So it was like, well said, but rehearsed sounding. And I felt like even though she looked beautiful and had such a great package, that it would affect placement, and it did. Number 7 was asked a question about a current event, which I believe was in the Philippines. I wasn't familiar with it, but the judge was talking about this woman who had been found in a drainage pipe or something like that. And number 7 shared a really touching story here. So she talked about being somebody who herself has experienced involuntary hunger and malnourishment at the age of 15. And she says that her advice to that woman would be that she wishes that you will never go hungry. And she thinks that when you hit rock bottom, don't despair and don't use that as your identity, but use rock bottom as your launch pad. She said, I've done exactly that. She talked about items that she has sold to make a living for herself and provide for her family. And she says, as long as you believe in the beauty of your dreams, you can do it, basically. Super humble, super uplifting message here. Very well said. Just absolutely touches your heart. Loved it. This was a cool question for number 25. The judge talked about how if a lie has been told 10,000 times that it can be accepted as truth. Her question, though, was about fake news and it corrupting and polluting our society more than ever. And this is what number 25 said to her. She said that the best way that we can combat this kind of misinformation is to educate people and to inform them that we need to be aware, we need to regulate and make online communities a safer place for everyone. Now, I think that what really helped her in this answer is that she is such a natural speaker. Wow, she was confident, she wasn't stumbling. I didn't think that the answer itself, the content of it, was incredibly memorable. I won't remember what she said next week, but what was important is that the impact that she had in that moment. And I feel like that is really what put her over the top. Let's talk about our results. So this year there is a second runner-up, first runner-up, and then only 2 titles, which makes me so sad because there's so many great contestants and just not enough titles to go around. Second runner-up was number 18. First runner-up was number 36. What did I say? I feel like because she sounded a bit rehearsed, it really affected her placement, but she had such a great look and such a great package and really stood out. I feel like she can come back and she needs to change her delivery. Number 7, she is going to be representing the Philippines at Globe. Congratulations. You could just feel her excitement through the screen. Like, oh, I'm trying not to be emotional too. I love when I see crownings like that where contestants are just, you could just see the emotion wash over them and how grateful they are for the opportunity. And she's done so well in the Philippines and internationally, and this is just such an exciting moment for her to be able to actually be crowned on stage. The final crown went to Miss International Philippines, and that is contestant number 25. Wow, she was such a standout. I also feel like she's a really good fit for Miss International. This makes so much sense. I like that for her. And I will say though, number 11 and number 12 I could have also seen them somewhere in that top 4. I really liked their performances. I thought that they were standouts. But what did you think? I knew that there were going to be some surprises here because there were only 2 titles. But let me know what you thought about the placements and the crownings in the comments. And of course, let me know what episodes you'd like to see next on the channel. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you soon.